Hi everybody! Oh my gosh, I've got such a great show for you today. It is all about cellulite. So I'm gonna let you guys start coming on. I have a special guest speaker today, so I cannot wait. Hi everybody! Hello, I'm gonna let you guys start coming on. I have got a topic today that is gonna ring true to like so many women out there because 97% of women have cellulite. So that is our topic today. It is all about cellulite. I have a very special guest that's going to join me in about 15 minutes, Nurse Jamie, who is from the Netflix show Skin Decision. And she has been a friend of mine for, oh my gosh, I want to say 20 years. And for those of you who are on this live now, you know it was scheduled for 11 a.m. So I really appreciate you guys letting me push it back. Nurse Jamie's she has triplets. And so one of her sons, one of her children, she's got 2 girls and a boy, got elbowed in the face. So she had to go during basketball or whatever. So she had to go and pick him up, but she is going to be joining us here in about 15 minutes. But man, do you think at the age of 55, almost 55, that I could fill time talking about cellulite? You know how many types of treatments that I have tried in these almost 55 years on the planet? A lot. So we can really get into it. But first, I want to announce the winner of last week's giveaway. So if you guys missed that giveaway that I had last week's topic was all about collagen supplements. So if you're new to this channel, you know that every Sunday I have a live at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And last week I had Amber Rainsbury on and we were talking about collagen supplements and what were the best collagen supplements on the market. This is my favorite. So I have a winner, and that is Cowgirl68. You are the winner of this 1 month supply of collagen. You take a tablespoon in the morning and a tablespoon at night. This helps with everything in terms of hair, skin, and nails, but also joints, ligaments, all of that stuff. So, and it also increases hyaluronic acid in your skin. So this might not be what you would consider to be a cellulite treatment, but when you're plumping up that skin, you're gonna have a lot less noticeable cellulite. So the winner of this was Cowgirl68. Congratulations. And I will get this in the mail to you. So, back to cellulite. This is a big topic. Nurse Jamie, like I said, is going to be on here about 11:45, but I wanted to give you guys my take on what I feel are my top 5 cellulite treatments. Just like most things when we're treating different things in terms of like our skin or our stomachs or our necks, it takes multiple types of treatments, and that's where you're going to get the best results, is when you combined these type of treatments. So I just want to say hi to people who are coming on. Hi Lizzie. Hi everybody. Hi Kaylee. It's so good to see like people come on every week. It really touches my heart. Romanian Girl 10. I see you guys. Cowgirl68, you just joined. Guess what you won? Yes, you did. So I'm going to get this in the mail to you. Make sure you DM me, give me your address, and I'll pop this in the mail to you tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. So all things collagen. I first want to let you guys know, hi Romanian Girl. So I want to let you guys know what collagen is. How do we get it? Like, why do 95% of women have it? This is what it looks like. Okay. I mean, I could show you my thighs, but I think that this, for the purpose of like getting up in the camera, this might be a little bit better. Okay. So we've got our muscle down here. We've got our skin that's on the top here, and you've got these fibrous bands that connect the muscle with your epidermis. And what happens, especially as we age, so a couple different things can make cellulite worse. Age, because just like all connective tissue on your joints and all of that, yeah, cellulite, you mean cellulite. Yes, we're talking about cellulite. But you have these fibrous bands that connect the epidermis to the muscle. And with age, these get tighter. So you've got these bands, these get tighter, and we also increase fat. So when we increase fat and the bands stay the same, just like in any connective tissue, kind of takes a little bit of a nosedive when we're talking about collagen production and all of that stuff. That's where things like this come in. But the appearance of cellulite could get worse. So that's kind of what they're caused from. It's not actually in the epidermis. It's the result of those fibrous bands that connect the muscle to the top layer of the skin. And so you get kind of that mattress effect, right? So when those bands are still tight and it's pulling down on the skin and the fat increases, you're getting this kind of effect. Now, some women have just an overall kind of orange peel effect in places, and it's normally on places where we carry weight, so our hips and our thighs. And some women have just like a big dent. So regardless of if you were one of those that have like multiple little sections of cellulite, or you've got those big dips, this is what it's caused from. It's caused from those fibrous bands pulling down on the skin, and then this filling up with fat. So it does help a little bit. When you lose weight, you'll notice that your cellulite is a little bit less noticeable. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not there. If you were to take your thigh, if I were to take my thigh, look, I even wore something that was like short, but if I were to take my thigh and go like this, you can see, oh my God, this is on live, so there's like no way that I can get out of people unseeing this. But when you pinch on your thigh, there's cellulite underneath, right? And so that is caused from those bands that are pulling that skin down to where it's not smooth. So when you're looking at treating cellulite, there's a couple different ways that you can do this. Now, I want to say this though, before we go any further. When I was looking for this kind of diagram for you guys to see, I went on Google and I searched cellulite images, and this really pissed me off. So this was one of the ones that I printed out, and it kind of shows you, again, the fibrous bands and the collection of fat and the smooth surface here and the dimpled surface here. And they called this healthy skin and unhealthy skin. And I'm sorry, but that pisses me off. There's nothing unhealthy about cellulite. 95% of women have it. And for those rare alien women who don't have any cellulite and will never get cellulite, congratulations, but it's not most of us, right? It's just, 95%. And it doesn't really matter how fit you are, how much you exercise. It will dip down a little bit with weight gain. With weight loss, and it will dip down a little bit when you're like lymphatically drained, or if you're a little bit puffy from like a night of drinking or something, you'll notice that your cellulite's a little bit more. So it does have some sort of fluctuation, but this cellulite is not unhealthy. So whoever made this freaking chart, shame on you. That's not great to tell women. Got another one. Sorry. Look at this. Normal skin and cellulite. This is normal for 95% of women. Redo these charts, you guys. This is normal. Cellulite is normal. Do not shame us and tell us that this is what normal skin looks like. This might be what a 10-year-old skin looks like. This might be, prepubescent skin, what this looks like. But for women, 95% of us have it. It is not abnormal to have cellulite, and it is not unhealthy to have cellulite. So shame on these people. Okay, moving on. Now let's get into the treatment. Yes, amazing. Yes, Sophia, we are normal. We're women. We are supposed to be, we're built this way. We're built this way. And it doesn't mean that, it's something that we strive to have. We don't strive to have cellulite, but my God, don't shame us and tell us that we can't wear short shorts, and that it's unhealthy, and that it's not normal. Totally normal. Just blows my mind. Okay, moving on. Before Nurse Jamie gets on here, she's got about 5 minutes. I want to go over my top cellulite treatments. So before we do that, if you want to be in the drawing, and Nurse Jamie is the one doing the giveaway. She texted me right before the mishap with her son and told me that she was going to give a giveaway. So it's going to be a good one, you guys. So the first step to do that is you invite your 3 people. So you use that little arrow button right down there, the send button. It won't take you off this page. Click on that, invite your 3 people here. That's your first step for being in the drawing. Then after I post it to my site, you tag 3 more people and voila, you're in the drawing. I think for this time though, it's the program that I'm using to pick the winner, Cowgirl 68, congratulations. But the program that I'm using to pick the winner is not, it's like really difficult. So it's just not, it wasn't really great for me this time. I actually had to like write down the people and pull it out of a hat. But so I'm gonna do it a different way. I have a different program. It's like the more that you comment, the more chances you have of winning. So if you tag 3 people, tag them all separately when I post it. And if you have any comments on the live after I post it, it's just gonna increase your chance of winning. So this week's winner was Cowgirl 68, congratulations. So I'm gonna see what I can get done before Nurse Jamie steps in here. Now we know what the cause is, let's talk about the treatments. So there's a lot of different, let's just start with skincare. There's a lot of different skincare on the market today that is touting that it reduces cellulite. Remember that we're only reducing the appearance of cellulite. There is not a skin cream on the market that is going to be able to dissolve these fibrous bands. Sorry. But we can improve the appearance and you'll have to use it very consistently. So this is one that Modere just came out with. This is the Cell Proof's body firming lotion. And they do have a lot of before and afters on their site. If you're interested in this kind of product, just DM me Cellulite and I'll make sure that I get you a link for this. But when we're talking about skincare, what we're looking for is caffeine. So if you guys were on the live when I did the eye bag, and remember when you have eye bags, you want to use caffeine and then you want to use a lymphatic drainage and roll it out. If you missed that live, make sure that you get that live or that you go back and watch that live. It's the same thing when we're dealing with cellulite. So the caffeine is going to act as like, you know, a diuretic basically in that area and get rid of some of the excess fluid that we have there. And when you get rid of some of the excess fluid, you're gonna bring this down a little bit. And so that's how the skin creams decrease the appearance of cellulite. Remember, they're not working on the bands, they're decreasing the appearance because when you're adding caffeine, you're gonna depuff this area a little bit, just like you would with an under eye cream that contains caffeine. You depuff the area and it diminishes the appearance of cellulite. So those are the things. So Sophia said, the replay for the eye bag live, it's here, it is in the feed. It helped me so much. The caffeine serum is so affordable. 100% true. So if you just think about the science behind that, right? It acts as a diuretic when we've got puffy bags and it diminishes that a little bit when we put caffeine. It's the same thing with cellulite. So when you're looking for a skincare, it's not gonna solve the cellulite problem, but with repeated use, it can diminish the effects, diminish the look of cellulite. And that's what those creams are really trying to get at. Okay, so moving on. Those were the creams. Also retinols. Now, if you missed that live on retinols, you know that retinols are like the holy grail of skincare. And they do help with all of that cell turnover. So that, a retinol in combination with a caffeine kind of cream, you're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck in diminishing the appearance of cellulite. Okay, one of my favorite things to do is dry brushing. Now, this is like when you spend a lot of money going to different spas to have treatments, we also have to look at like what are the treatments that we can do at home that are super cost effective, and this is one of them. I'm gonna just really quickly while I'm doing this, I'm gonna see if Nurse Jamie is on here. And I think that we have her for about I'm going to invite her now and see. Okay, so when we're talking about dry brush, I did a full video on my YouTube channel, Live Young Lifestyle, on dry brushing. I give you the technique for doing it. Kaylee Go says, what about coffee or caffeine? Caffeine, not ingested, but caffeine when rubbed on the skin, when it's in eye makeup, eye bag solutions, and when it's on in cellulite creams, it does help act as a diuretic in that area, and then it diminishes the appearance. So on dry brushing, you really want to aim for, now I don't have cellulite on my arms, but you really want to aim for those lymph nodes, right? Because that's what's going to, it's going to help to drain. So when you do your legs, and I do my legs every single night before I jump into the shower, I do my legs. If I take a freezing cold shower in the morning, which I'm now, says Nurse Jamie's in it. Okay, so when Nurse Jamie comes in here, I'll go ahead and let her in, and I'll just keep checking back and forth. But if you use this on your legs in the areas that you have cellulite, and you're brushing this towards your lymph nodes, which are right here where your groin is, that's what's going to help get all that fluid out. And when you're talking about fluid reduction in the area, again, let's just make common sense. When you're talking about fluid reduction in the area, you're going to diminish the appearance of cellulite. So things like dry brushing, not only does this help circulation, it helps with cell turnover. She's here. I think she's starting her own live. What? Let me, what? Nurse. Huh. Interesting. Let's try this. I'm gonna invite her here. Okay, I'm gonna invite her again and let's see what happens. So with dry brushing, make sure that you check out that, that YouTube video that I did. The link is in my linked tree. And okay. Sure, I think she's waiting for you. What? That's not what, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? Let me see if I have my computer. Let me see if I can text her from here. Sorry, you guys, we had a little miscommunication. Let's see if I can text her over here and we'll get it set up. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm on live. Okay, 1 second, you guys, sorry. Just hop on. Okay. So we'll see if we can get her in here. Okay, so Nurse Jamie is coming and she should be here momentarily. I've got a separate text message going with her. So when it comes to dry brushing, you want to do this every single night before you jump in the shower. And it really does help with that lymphatic drainage. Also things like this, like these kind of devices, this is the Nurse Jamie Uplift for the body. And anytime that you can use a little bit of vibration and the roller to get the fluid kind of, pushed towards those lymph nodes, you're going to reduce the appearance of cellulite. So that's dry brushing. I'm going to go to the next one, which is foam rolling. Somebody said foam rolling. Oh, okay. Joined. Here she goes. Yay. Let's see if I can get her. We'll go live with Nurse Jamie. Oh, she's invited. Yeah, that's not really, she invited me. Let's see, not really what we had thought was gonna happen. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Let's see if I can get her. I tried to tell her to go to you. Yeah, I'm trying to tell her the same thing. I'm trying to tell her the same thing. Okay, we'll see. Okay, let's just keep going. I'm gonna just keep trying to see if I can get her on here. Okay, so we'll keep going. And if I have to have a
Hey,
oh, yay!
I know, right? We've been trying to get on.
Oh, hello.
Fair to
How are
marginal.
you?
How are you? Hey, Richard, do you want to help me get it?
I think I'm doing a little bit better than you. Wow. Well, for those of you who don't know, Nurse Jamie has triplets. And so, you know, that just one kid goes down and like, how many hands can you have? Right? Yeah. Okay. How are you? We're talking all things.
Good.
Well, first of all, how's
Everything's
your
fine.
son?
We got him picked up. He's good to go. All is good.
That's great. Yay. Okay, well, I'm just going to, I'll tell people what I have talked about thus far. I'll just catch you up a little bit, Nurse Jamie. I've been just rambling here for the last 15 minutes or so, but we were talking all things cellulite, and I went over like how cellulite is formed, and that 95% of women have them. There's not a lot of real like treatments that actually fix the problem, but a lot of stuff that helps to reduce the appearance. So what do you have that's in office? I've gone over like some dry brushing. I used this for a little bit, your Nurse Jane's Body, which I love because that works with lymphatic drainage. But you go ahead and tell me what's the latest and greatest thing that's happening?
There's 3 different kinds of cellulite. Can we lower this a little bit? Because it's like just my eyes. Yeah, there's 3 different kinds of cellulite, and I think that's an important thing to note. One is kind of like more inflammation based, and the other is it's more condensed, and the other is they call it flaccid cellulite, and I think that's a good thing to note because I have a lot of women that come in and want to do it, and especially if it's on the tush. It's almost kind of like lines and the dimples. It's where you know, it's just more because of laxity as well. So there was that product that was out that they just banned. What's the name of that one? Yeah, the Quo. I actually kind of liked it, but not for, you can't use it for laxity. And I think that's kind of where more of the issues came in because it, you know, cellulite is caused by those connective fibers banding together, pulling the skin down, causing that uneven appearance, and you could be rail thin and have that. But the thing is that that Quo shot did break up that banding, but if you did it kind of in the lower part of the tush, it could make the laxity essentially worse. But if you did it like on the side where it's kind of harder to add filler, it kind of was a good product. You just had to use it sparingly. But I can see where they ran into problems if somebody used it and it made the lax part of your butt even more lax.
Yeah. So if you injected it and it dissolved this band, we're talking about the shot Quo, which had a lot of hype about it as like something that really cures cellulite because it did dissolve this band. But what you're saying is that depending on the location, it could make the skin kind of fall and make it look worse. I think
that must have been what happened because I actually liked the product, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't around. But I didn't use it on the lower half of the tush. I mean, here's the thing is, I guess the reason I am a good provider is because I have all of these issues and I've kind of practiced on myself. And a lot of what I thought initially was, and so there's actually, again, kind of going back to the 3 main types of cellulite, I almost give it a 4th type because there's some, especially practicing in Southern California, there's some that is created from having liposuction. So It has the appearance of
Wow.
cellulite because people often think that it's cellulite, but it's actually just almost like scar tissue from having liposuction. And I was definitely one of those people. I had liposuction, you know, I've worked, my very first job, I worked for a group of plastic surgeons, and I had it done when I didn't need it because it just sounded like a great idea, you know, and, you know, they had to demonstrate one time, and I had it done when I was like 19 or 20 years old. So you guys can judge me later, but bing, bang, boom, you know, I did it. And,
I've used it for
yeah,
fat
so
transfer,
I had
know?
this, I had the, and I thought for a long time that my cellulite was regular cellulite, but it was actually mostly from the liposuction. So, traditional, there's my other, so I think what I'm going to break it down is into four main types. If it's like the first type and it's more like an adolescent orange peel cellulite, then traditional like radio frequency works. Here's a handpiece that is, this one's by Cynosure. You can pop this on there, which helps to kind of break up and does like a little bit of lymphatic drainage with the heat. Kind of combines like almost like, remember like old school endermology where you wore that full body pantyhose? And I mean, anything that where you get the lymphatic system moving is good. Like you said, dry brushing. But I think that's probably a very small percentage of what cellulite is caused by.
That's what, now see, I don't mind a little endermology. Like if I'm going to go for a massage, I'd rather use the vacuum of endermology and kind of just pull that kind of and smooth it out. It's not something that's like a permanent thing, but I do feel like the lymphatic drainage, like with the dry brushing and with like devices like this, helps a tiny bit, right? To at least decrease the appearance temporarily.
It does decrease the appearance temporarily. Yeah, because there's really no cure for cellulite. The things that, certain things though, I swear, like I've done some sculpture injections on what I call, it looks like somebody took a ball peen hammer, that little round hammer, and like, and if you're wearing white pants, it kind of shows. So I think that for that type of stuff, I think Sculpture is great. Now, Sculpture is polylactic D. It's one molecule different than being sugar. And so what I'll do is I'll take a needle and kind of break up a little of that banding and then just pop that, pop the Sculpture in there. And it just helps to almost like a dent in your car. It really is a nice thing. And I, you know, in cosmetics, anything that lasts more than 5 years is considered to be permanent. Now, I don't know if because the majority of mine were from cellulite, but that has really been a permanent improvement. I also find that if you have like the type 2 cellulite, doing M-Sculpt helps too, because you're helping to build that muscle. Because if you have not a lot of muscle tone, you have lax skin, of course the appearance of cellulite is going to be worse. So there's so many different ways to approach it. It's just not an easy thing to do, and it just depends on like what kind of cellulite it is, and that I think is the confusing part. Because if you're like 20 years old and it's like that orange peel, if you do a radio frequency treatment, I think that's great. My tip with radio frequency though is, having done this for 20 years, is not to use a handpiece that is like this, because what can happen is, because this creates heat, I feel like it can, sometimes the heat can grab a little bit and almost enhance the appearance. I like to use bigger hand pieces that where the heat is more evenly distributed when you're trying to like tighten an area, for cellulite. So I just don't like to using, that's like a little tip that I don't think a lot of people know.
No, so for people that are in that first category where they have the orange peel skin, this is typically people that are a little bit younger. But when you've got that overall orange peel skin, the radio frequency, you would say, is your top choice in treatment there.
Doing stuff at home, I think that's a better choice. Now, like I I I probably have all types of the cellulite a little bit, you know. Somewhere like men, their connective tissue is different. They tend to get it less frequently, but sometimes men get it, and I almost think it's worse for men because they kind of get it on their abdomen, and I've had people come in for that, and that's, I think, awful for a guy. I don't know. It's not great for women that have it on their legs either, but it's just like, it seems like it's harder if they can't take their shirt off, I guess.
Yeah, because I think it's more expected to find it on women because it is on like 95% of us. And we do have options. We have options. We can embrace it and still wear bikinis and put our head up and feel fine about it, knowing that we're all in it together. Or we can, you know, fight it with every tool in the tool shed, which is why I like you so much, because we just hit it in many different areas. So besides lifting weights, so muscle mass, so anything to pop out that area will make it look better. Dry brushing, anything that does lymphatic drainage, the radio frequency, like you said. Now, what if you've got like one of those big, and also Sculptra, which I've also done on my legs.
Has helped my legs a lot. I'll also say, like, after the age of 40, if you like, here's my problem is, like, I have almost $1 million worth of M-Sculpt machines here, right? I have 3 different ones, and M-Sculpt helped me so much. I loved it because I'm not like you. I don't like live to go to the gym. I do it because I need to. I don't live for it, you know? And
right.
M-Sculpt helped me a lot. And I believe in it. I loved it. But what happened to me is, as I didn't have any testosterone, I couldn't, even with $1 million machine that does, you know, super maximal contractions, it wasn't really working for me. So I found when I did took just a little bit of testosterone, it made it so much easier, like for my quadricep and my butt. Like, forget it, my butt was like Cool Whip. It was like the Matrix, like you could like reach right through it, you know. So and for me, what happened is, as I tried to lift heavier and heavier weights, my neck, like, it's so much easier for me to build muscle, and I think for a lot of women, to build muscle in their upper body than in their lower body. And so I never really invested into like a leg press, which I guess would have like alleviated some of that. But I didn't want to get so bulky here. I just wanted to, you know, improve the lower part of my body. So I found M-Sculpt to be instrumental, but then, like I said, I got to an end point until I started taking testosterone. So, I mean, it's so complex. It could just be, it's not just one thing. It has to, we're all little snowflakes. But for me, that was kind of what my cellulite was. It was laxity. I needed to build more muscle in my, you know, my glutes and all around my legs, and not just my, you know, the quadriceps is the largest muscle in your body, but then you have all the supporting muscles around it. So, and on the side of the legs is where you tend to get most of that, and in the back of the legs, and that's really hard to do with weights anyway. So I think it's always good to add a little bit of radio frequency. Sculptra I found to be instrumental. Yeah, I think it just kind of depends on what's the type of cellulite.
Yeah. And so Sculptra, just for those that don't know, Sculptra is not actually a filler. And Jamie, you'd be able to explain this way better than I would, but it's a collagen stimulator. There you go. That's Sculptra. And it is injected. Yeah, it is injected. And so you go in there with the needle and try to break up these bands while you're depositing the Sculptra in there. And then explain how Sculptra over time goes to help improve that area.
Sculptra is poly-L-lactic D. It's one molecule different than being sugar. It's kind of like, the easiest way for me to explain it is, it's kind of like injecting tiny little grains of sand. I guess how laser resurfacing works on the outside of the skin. It causes this injury. Your body thinks you stop making new collagen at 25. But if you make this injury, if you get a burn, a cut, an abrasion, your body will send you collagen because it thinks it needs to heal itself. So you're injecting this irritant under the skin essentially, and then it kind of formulates collagen because to heal around there. So it's sugar, it's polylactic D basically. And then as that dissolves, it creates almost like an irritation on the inside. So it's nice to kind of, I think it's because it's so thin and because your own collagen is forming. I found this product to be useful. Now it's not cheap, you know, it is not cheap, but I do think it works. Because I had bad lipo, and it was really the only thing that kind of saved my legs, I'll be honest, because I drank Keurig beer, I ate loaves of bread to gain weight so that they could have enough fat for them to harvest, because I didn't have enough fat for them to reimplant into these holes that I had in my legs. And I did that. I tried to gain weight. I tried to do this whole thing surgically, and it just didn't work. And it cost me a fortune. So the only thing that worked for me is meticulously going and kind of popping these dents out and then like tightening around there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what is your thought then on the cream? Well,
Yes.
First of all, you have a giveaway for us, right? So you guys make sure that you invite your 3 people with that little arrow, the little send button on the bottom right-hand corner. You'll see the little airplane. Hit that button. It won't have you leave us, and just click on 3 people to invite them here. That's your first task of going for the giveaway. So and this is what we got.
This is like a post-procedure body kit. This is a beauty blade. It kind of helps, like a fascia tool. It is great. This also has, this oil has arnica in it, which is anti-inflammatory. So if you are the type of person that does get cellulite from, if you had popcorn or sushi or wine or, just any kind of a food that makes you hold edema, then this is great. Or it's great to go in conjunction with like endermology or radio frequency. This is like a great thing to do at home. The body tool is kind of like my uplift, only we added double the amount of stones and we added the sonic technology. So for me, even I get the tiniest bit of, I love it. The cellulite on the back of my arms, just like ever so slight. So if I, you can take it, it's easy because of the Y handle that you can do it like on the back of your legs yourself if you can't get in for a treatment. So I think it's nice, like, and do that in a self tanner and Bob's your uncle. I think it looks much better.
Well, that's funny you say that, because these are like, when I go anywhere, if I'm traveling and I know I'm going to be in a bikini, these are the 2 things that I bring: a self tanner and this and your body uplift, because you can kind of lymphatically drain and help that little appearance. So remember, anytime that we're doing any sort of lymphatic drainage, whether it's through dry brushing, or it's through endermology, or it's through tools like this, we're improving at least the appearance of it temporarily. But hey,
and then like again, some of your long-term stuff is going to be things like in Sculptra. I'm actually I'm going to try Renuva in my tush actually next week, I think. So I'll let you know. I'm just going to see it, try it. I've been hearing some good things, but I haven't tried it myself yet. So,
well, tell us a little bit about that, because if you haven't tried it, we know that there's cutting edge and then there's really cutting edge.
It's a new and injectable, and a lot of people have been doing it just to kind of build up the tush, because it does fall. It is hard to put your own fat in there because again, it does fall. So I'll be curious to see what happens. I'm just going to try a small amount. I'm going to try it on some of my cellulite dents, and we'll see. So I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
Okay. Keep me posted on that. What is your take on, you know, there's a lot, this is a little off topic, but not really. The Ozempic shots and like the weight loss shots that are so popular right now, losing that weight super fast. How is that affecting the appearance of cellulite on people that are on these kind of weight loss shots? And the reason why I'm bringing this up, you guys, is because I think that's going to be my next topic next Sunday at 11 a.m. I'm going to talk about Ozempic and all of these different weight loss shots and how is it affecting the skin. And so are you getting any of those kind of clients?
I mean, people are coming in for more skin tightening, but I would say overall, a lot of the cellulite issues and some of the body stuff has improved because you have less inflammation when you have less fat cells. But then you go up on skin laxity. So some of the cellulite I'd say is improved, but I think there's more skin laxity is basically what happens with that. So we've been doing more body tightening, and then I think that's when the M-Sculpt comes in. And people that are already taking peptides are open to taking peptides that help to, are more open to taking peptides that help to stimulate muscle growth. And then you can support the skin in that way. If you do that with some radio frequency, I think that's been a pretty good combo. I've been doing that combo for a while. And I like it, but I'm also, you know, I'm not afraid to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so what's going on with the Sulfina? Because that was like a surgical approach, right?
I mean, I guess it must have been very user dependent, because I would say overall, I didn't get great reports from that, from my mutual clients that had it done. What did you hear that much? I would say overall, I would say the majority, I didn't get great reports, so I never really referred that many people to do it, because it just seemed like it like exacerbated on a lot of people. Some people like loved it. I think something like doing the collagen induction, you know, with radio frequency and microneedling, and then adding Sculptra just seemed to be across the board everybody's happy with.
Yeah, I like that. And just like, you know, with skincare, when we're dealing with wrinkles and fine lines and skin elasticity, it takes multiple types of treatments, right? Different modalities of treatments, I think, oftentimes give the best results. And I had a couple clients that did Sulfina, and the recovery, like, you know, they did it 2 months before summer and still had a bruise on their ass and trying to get in a bikini.
That was the same with the Quo shot. So
with the Quo. Yeah. So for those of you who are just joining, if you want to be in the giveaway, Nurse Jamie so generously is giving us her, what do you call that kit again, Nurse Jamie?
Which I find very helpful with cellulite. And then we have the Uplift Body, which is the tool that you were using. So we were going to do both of those.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe we'll do 2 winners. Let's do 2 winners. Yeah. Okay. So you guys, this is a big chance for you guys. So we'll do 2 different winners. Make sure you invite your 3 people now. And then once I post it to my main feed, tag 3 more people. And remember, the more that you comment, because I had to switch the system of picking the winner, the more that you comment, the more chances you have of winning. So just comment away. And then Nurse Jamie, I noticed in your new place, you've got like that wooden thing that just...
That definitely
helps. Is that basically like foam rolling? So I'll share that with you guys a little bit. I can have
Richard take you back
right
there
now, but
real quick. All right.
Yes.
All right, Darnell, I'm going to tell you bye, but Richard's going to go show you this thing.
Thank you so much, Nurse Jamie, for all that you have done here today. I appreciate your time, and I'll chat to you soon. Chat with you soon. Have a great rest of your day, and then let's see what this other contraption is. Hi. I'm
doing
really good. How
great.
are you
So back
doing?
here, we have our wellness spa where we have the machines we're talking about. Yep.
That's what I'm
So they
talking
are,
about. So you guys, that looks like kind of the nodules that I use on my dry brush. But to do that, you know, you dry brush and then you turn it over. That looks like
yeah,
you do you
Ken's
just sit
actually going to
down on
demonstrate
that?
it for us.
That's awesome.
So if you,
So you're supposed to have your hair back, but you can do it on your lower back. And it feels so good.
I love that. So that's basically, and that's going in an upward motion. So it's bringing all of that fluid up to your lymph nodes for drainage. Wow.
And I have really like stiff calves, so it feels good.
I would literally just like live on that thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that is, so we would assume then that it's working much like a lymphatic drainage system to get all of that circulation going. Do we think that it's working on any of those connective bands? Is it that strong?
It gets the lymphatic system going and draining all the toxins. And then you can actually put, I think there's also a heater. Yeah. So it's the red light. And then that feels good too because it's warm. Yeah, so especially
I love that.
on the back.
I would imagine there's a little bit of fat
Yeah.
disruption going on there as well with the heat and the, yeah, because you're adding the heat and you're doing a lymphatic drainage and you've got like this kind of muscle, you know, that's really kind of moving that stuff. There could be some fat disruption there as well, which as we've learned earlier,
Yeah.
if you're decreasing your fat.
So it's really, really good.
Yeah. I love that. Well, thank you so much for showing. Okay, so what is that?
The body rolls.
Oh, there's
all
a
the areas you could do it on. You could do it on your feet, your calves, your thighs, backs, buttocks. So everywhere. It's great. Yeah.
That's great. Great. Oh, okay. Well, that's what a treat that we got to see that. So when clients come into Nurse Jamie's spa there, are they just, is that the waiting room where they're just sitting on one of these
well,
machines?
they kind of go through the whole workout process, but of course, if you have more tension on your legs or on your arms, they usually try to focus on that area.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much for showing us that.
Thanks for having Jamie.
Okay. So we'll say goodbye now, and I'm gonna go ahead and recap everything that we have done. So a big shout out to Nurse Jamie for taking the time. For those of you who don't know, she is a co-host on Skin Decision, which is on Netflix, and she's been a good friend of mine for a long time. She has triplets, so that's why we had to kind of push the schedule a little bit. So if somebody says, like Darnell says, I want to live to be 100, I just don't want to feel like 100 or look like I'm 100. I mean, come on, don't we all? Like, I want to be here for a long time, but if we can do these little things to help us, you know, get back into the, you know, shape. It's not about like getting back to a certain shape in time. It's about looking and feeling our best, right now at the age we are right now. So that's what this whole thing is about. So I'm just going to recap. If you guys have not invited your 3 people, I do not want you to miss on that giveaway because she had one of these. So Nurse Jamie is giving away one of these, which helps with lymphatic drainage. I actually use this a lot on the back of my arms, to believe it or not. And I do travel with this when I am going to be in a bathing suit because it does help to lymphatically drain that area. So this is the first giveaway. So make sure you've invited your 3 people. And then the second giveaway was that body kit, the body recovery kit, where she that tool for lymphatic drainage as well. So 2 big giveaways, 2 big winners this week. So very excited about that. And so we're just going to recap really quickly. We had the winner from last week, which was the Modere liquid biocell, and that was Cowgirl 68. Is that right? Yeah, Cowgirl 68. And next week, I think what I'm going to be doing is the Ozempic, the weight loss shot. So I'm going to try to get a doctor on here to talk about that. But if there is anything else that you guys want to learn about or want to talk about, we could do retinoids. There's a lot of different options that we can talk about, and make sure that you subscribe to that newsletter. So that link is in my linked tree. So anytime that you're asking about skincare, if you want the link to my ultimate skincare routine, which I also did a live on, when you go to my linked tree, you just click on that button, subscribe to the newsletter, and you'll get my ultimate skincare routine delivered right into your inbox. So that said, I'm going to go and look and see if there was any questions, because I didn't want to scroll up while Nurse Jamie was on here. But I'm going to look and see what we had, if there was anything else. So just to let you guys know, there are a few other things that I do at home in addition to that. So like I said, I do dry brush. I do foam roll. So this is my foam roller, and I do this before I work out. And the reason why is because foam rolling, it's super inexpensive to do, right? This is probably $30 on Amazon. And when you foam roll, you are disrupting these fibrous bands. So you're mashing this, you're making sure that this is like a little bit loosened. And so it does really help the appearance of cellulite, and it's just a very inexpensive way to do that. So I did a YouTube video on foam rolling, and I also did a YouTube video on my 5 tips to decrease cellulite. So make sure that you guys are following me on YouTube as well. And okay, let me see if there was anything else. We talked about the creams. We talked about, you're going to look for a cream that has caffeine in it. I will have this is my favorite dry brush, and this will be on my Amazon store. So if you click on that linked tree in my bio and then click on the Amazon icon, you'll be able to find this. And the reason why I love this is because just like we saw that machine in Nurse Jamie's spa that has these little nodules, that's important for lymphatic drainage when you're talking about cellulite. So you want not only a brush side, but you want the nodule side as well. And they're just like little plastic nodules, but it does really help to move that fluid out. And remember, when we have a reduction in fluid, whether or not it's from, a caffeine lotion that acts as a diuretic, or we're physically manipulating that fluid out of the treatment area wherever you have cellulite, you're going to get a reduction in the appearance of cellulite. But when you're foam rolling, you actually are making some progress with these really tight bands. And remember, when we're dealing with cellulite, it's the bands, the fibrous bands that connect the muscle with the epidermis that is pulling, and you get that mattress effect. So when you're using a foam roller, again, probably the cheapest thing that we have here, you are working to loosen these bands. So I love that. This is another device that I like. This is Glow 910 Plus. And the reason I like this is because not only does it have, let's see if I have not only does it have like the different attachments for dry brushing, but it also has rollers and things like that try to work with the fascia. For those of you who used to use the fascia blaster, or who have tried the fascia blaster, it's that one tool. Gosh, I should have brought mine up. I've got like a whole closet full of this stuff. But it's the one tool that has like nodules like this, that you work on the cellulite area, and it works on those bands. This is very similar. If you're interested in something like this, it's not a cheap machine, but it is a very powerful machine, and it does, have red light also. But this really works. I call this the teeth. This one attachment really, And we're back. Okay, this attachment has the teeth, and it really does work to get in there and to work on those bands. So it's, I mean, look, oh, wow, you're gonna see what it does to my arm. Look at this. So it really gets in there and tries to disrupt, oh, that's not really pretty. Oh, well. It gets in there and tries to disrupt those bands. So it does help with the appearance of cellulite. But again, when you're doing things like this, it's not just like a one treatment and you're done. It's not a one and done thing. Cellulite is one of those things that it's going to improve. It's going to improve and it's going to come back. It's going to improve and it's going to come back, depending on your weight, depending on how much you're retaining water, and depending on these kind of bands. So if you've got really, the older we get, these bands become tougher. So that's why cellulite, when we get older, the bands become tougher. So that's why cellulite is more common when we get a little bit older. First, we put on a little bit of weight, but also the bands get a little bit more rigid. And so we get that mattress effect. So it's one of those things that if it's really important to you, you're going to be working on it, you know, for a while. But I do want to say, now we've talked about treatments, right? Whether they're temporary, whether they're a little bit more, you know, things that make a bigger difference, like the Sulfina or the Sculptra injections, the radio frequency. We can do radio frequency at home, so make sure that you check out those, you know, that video as well on YouTube. But when it comes to like, now you've got cellulite, like we all do, 95% of us, and you're about to put on a bathing suit, that's when I like, you know, tanning solutions are godsend, because it does help to kind of mask. So this is my favorite. If you're interested, I don't think it's in my Amazon store, but I'll quickly go and put it in my Amazon store afterwards. It's the best tanning solution that I've found. It doesn't smell and it's 1 hour. So if you want that link, you can ask me, but otherwise I'm going to just put it in my Amazon store so it's easy for everybody to find. And then I wanted to show you one more thing that I actually love. So this is by Westmore Beauty. I'm not a brand ambassador by any of these companies. I'm really trying to get away from that because I want to be completely objective when we're talking about these kind of things, right? This is body makeup, and oh my God, does it disguise cellulite. I'm not joking. So the color that I use is Natural Radiance, and it comes with, or you can purchase this little brush. I just put a little bit on this and rub it in. Let me see if I can do a little bit just so I can kind of show you guys what it does, like even on my arm. Okay. Farm girl arm, you can see the spots and things like that. So any kind of discolorations, it just kind of masks it a little bit. It gives you a little bit of a color, and it hides imperfections, which includes not imperfections. Cellulite is not an imperfection, but it does mask and hide cellulite. So, and it's waterproof. So if you want, look at that. I mean, so imagine, like if you're doing that to your bum or to your thighs before you're putting on a bathing suit, and it's waterproof, and get in a pool and come out and it's still there. You do have to let it dry for a little bit, but I mean, you know, if it's going to help you with your confidence of getting that bikini on or putting on that short skirt, my God, I say do it. So let's see if there's any other questions, and then I'm going to start. Wait, what time did I start this? Oh, yeah, so it's been an hour. Yeah, we've been talking for an hour. That was so nice of Nurse Jamie to come on. I know she's super busy and she's got, you know, triplets. So if anybody has any suggestions that you would like, you know, to talk about, whether it's skincare or diet, I am a gerontologist, so we could talk about the hallmarks of aging and how to prevent those, what supplements to add. We could also talk about, you know, diet and weight loss and anything like that. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'm always open. But I think that next week I might talk about the diet shot, just because I do have a couple of clients who have inquired about it. And again, if you think that you're learning something from these lives, I'm here every Sunday, 11 a.m. And if you think that you're learning something, imagine what I can do on a one-on-one. So when we get off of here and you want to book a one-on-one with me, you just click on that linked tree and book a one-on-one. I can get a lot done in an hour. So we'll stay on the phone or stay in a Zoom for about 50 minutes, and then I spend the next 10 minutes writing out a treatment program for you. So you don't even have to frantically take notes. I correct your skincare. I tweak your diet a little bit. We talk about these kind of devices. So it is something, if you've been following me for a while and you want to take it to the next level, I invite you to do that. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, there's a lot on my YouTube channel, so make sure that you check that out. So that's it. You know, it's 95% of us have cellulite. So we can embrace it. We can support each other. We can also do little tiny things, you know, multiple treatments to decrease the appearance. I have a question. Does red light therapy help cellulite? Again, it's going to help a little bit, because it is helping with the circulation and with lymphatic drainage and with inflammation. So if we're talking about decreasing inflammation, that alone is going to help to decrease the appearance of cellulite. If we're talking about you know, just helping with the uneven skin tone and texture, which red light therapy will also do, that's going to help a little bit too. It helps with circulation, which helps with lymphatic drainage. So yes, that's a great question, Kaylee. Red light therapy does help a little bit, but it takes like multiple things to really have the best results. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more, you can always do that one-on-one session with me, and I will see you guys next week, 11 a.m. We're going to get into those, you know, the weight loss shot. We're going to really see, what are the pros? What are the cons? Is it right for you? Why are all the celebrities on it? And what are the possible, you know, negative side effects that could be further down the line? So we need to arm ourselves with all of the information, right? So I really appreciate you guys coming. Make sure you invite your 3 people before we get off of here. And comment once I post it to my feed, and it will increase your chance of the 2 giveaways from Nurse Jamie. One of them is the body, the Uplift body, and the other one was her body recovery kit. So that's pretty big. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your Sunday.